So I will, in some traditional Linux distro, I would go something like apt install new shell or whatever, which is not the case in NixOS. The first thing I can do is I can go nix shell, nix packages, hash, let's see, is it new or is it new shell? Let's try new. Probably not new. Let's see, maybe new shell. New shell. What this does fairly quickly is it added new shell from Nix packages to the Nix store. So it's, and you can see my shell level is 2. I have this tweak that shows me my shell level. So I'm in a subshell right now. That subshell has new shell in the path. So I can, now I can, I can have new. I can go, step into the new shell and do whatever, and I can try it out. And do this with many programs, with GUI programs as well. Works the same. Now I've closed new shell, and I will step out of this Nix shell with Control D, and I'll try running new, and it's not here. But it is in my store. So if I do enter the shell again, it'll be instant. Does that make sense? And let's see where, when I do which new, you can see it's not in like user bin, right? It's in the Nix store under some hash. So it's clean.
Right.
I didn't bother my system.
You have comma installed, by the way? Like I think comma is one that I show off, especially
comma is nice. Yeah.
Do you have that?
What's comma?
There, it's a program that typically is provided as comma. Comma is the command, so if you can see, it's quite small because it's a comma. But here's a comma character. And now I can something that Atuin that we mentioned. I don't have it. So lolcat.
Yeah,
lolcat. You can see I don't have lolcat. So I will use comma lolcat.
And then put a file after.
A file?
It just cats a file in rainbow color.
Let's try.
Have a readme.
A readme. This readme.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
And
it
executed it from Nix packages.
You didn't need to know. What's cool about that is you didn't need to know the package name. You just need to know the binary you want.
Right.
So you don't need to know the Nix package name. You don't. How it works is there's this big database. Like someone has collected all the packages that are built and indexed them and found all the things under bin. So when you write lolcat or new shell, it knows, oh, it's from this package. Oh, I'll do the step he was just demoing before. I'll do Nix shell. I'll download it. I'll enter the shell. I'll run but it like seamlessly does that all with comma. Like it's so seamless that a lot of times there's probably some apps I use daily at this point, some of them that I should put in my NixOS config. I've just gotten so much in the habit of just putting comma in them. It's like they're there. I just comma them all the time. It's like I haven't fully committed like I want them in my NixOS config, but I've used them for like a month straight. So I don't know. It's like
Let's say you did want to put them in your OS config.
Okay.
And so this is my desktop. So I would do something like go into the editor here and lolcat, right? Okay, so lolcat. Where would I put that? Let's say I want lolcat. What is it? I have this module called visuals. Currently, it's about this is boot visuals. Maybe text. No. Well, let's make a new one because I don't know where it fits. Let's make a new one. Let's call it, save it under modules. Oh, wait, I have something called vanity.
I'll say, by the way, his config is a little more, I'm trying to find the right adjective here, but it's like
Advanced.
advanced. Yeah, that's
right.
probably the fact that it's got all these files and you can do one big file and it doesn't need to be so intricate. He's running, he said, 3 different machines, so he wants some modularity, and he's sharing things and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And so, yeah.
Years ago, I started with one file. You can go through the Git history, you'll find it where it's one file. So I add this lolcat here. Is it called lolcat? Yes, it's, and I have nice tooling that I see the version. And I'll save this file. Now I will do NixOS switch dot.
Uh-huh.
Wait, one of the downsides of Nix is this evaluation time, because there's a step of evaluating this Nix language files into what's called a derivation. That's before that derivation is built. Now that's finished, and now the derivation's being built. You can see a nice tree here, because everything up the tree must be rebuilt. Does that make sense?
Right. So,
and this is the top of the tree. This is the entire top level OS.
So what is this this derivation?
How about I finish this showing off this little point I want to make, and then we can...
Yeah, easy.
So here I get a list of changes. This thing, I'm not sure what it is, but it's changed its
Ruby
version.
file of some sort?
Well, it seems that lolcat is implemented in Ruby. So yes, that makes sense. Now here's lolcat itself. These are all additions, added packages. I'll say, well, okay, it sounds good. Type in my password to make the change, and this will apply it. It'll what it does, it creates a new generation, which it means a new variant or a new version of my OS, and it activates it as well. That's what switch does. Now it's activated. Now I'm already in the upgraded, the new generation. And in here, I should have lolcat. And I have lolcat. So let's say...
Sorry, pause. Do we want to explain more? Like, let me know if you want to or not.
Yeah,
I want to ask.
We can... I want to finish this point.
Yeah, but
we can show generations what they are.
Okay,
we can show it.
I was going to just use words for it. But that was it. Yeah, we can do it.
It's like what is a better word for a generation?
I mean, it's just a symlink. Like, I was just gonna be like, it's just a fucking. Can we swear? It's just
go ahead.
Link.
Just don't say anything you don't want a recording of. Anything else is fine.
Okay, it's just a symlink.
Yeah, it is. It is just symlinks. The biggest of.
I use, instead of you asked what derivation is. I just like, it's just a recipe. Sometimes I use that word and people like attune to it better. I'm like, it's just a recipe file, and they're like, oh, okay, and then we can move on.
Yes, we can show what they are as well. So I'm going to add this. I decided I want to keep this change. I'll keep this. I'll commit this. I'll say lolcat. I added it. Now I'm committing it, and now I'm pushing it. Oh, well, it seems like I made some changes.
Not a Nix problem. That's a Git problem.
Yeah, and this is actually a good demonstration. I made some changes from my laptop because yesterday I was out. I was at a cafe and I was using my laptop. So let's do a git rebase origin main. That should solve the problem. It did it so. Let's get log here. Right, I'm behind origin main.
Now
Do I
I'm
need to
dealing
f-
with Git
Do
instead
I
of
need to
Nix.
fetch?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
I
Git
think
now.
I needed to fetch. Now it's successfully rebased, and now I can push it.
Okay.
Now, because I put it under what's for me is a home manager module called Base,
Mhm.
which I use in my laptop as well.
Mhm.
All I need to do when I open up my laptop Sunday when I go somewhere is git pull, and then right, so I'll do git pull there, and then I'll do NixOS switch dot,
Mhm.
and I will have the same change from my desktop.
Mhm.
I got to use that tool. I don't use NH. It looks pretty cool.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Shall we? Sorry, shall we demonstrate what generations are?
Sure. Yeah.
So I think I wrote this little tool for myself called Generation Manager.
Mhm.
I need to run it as root because I don't remember the invocation of.
So what you could do
of the-
is if you say which of one of your programs, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to see your Nix profile.
Mhm.
And then that profile, it's just a tree of symlinks. Nix.
It's somewhere like.
No, but just do which one.
Yeah, you want me to do which lolcat and then.
Yeah, there you go. So you can now.
But my generations for the system are system ones. They're not in here, right?
I think it's going to be to there.
Nix var Nix. Profiles system. And is that it? System somewhere. Well, I can find out if I look at my generation manager.
Mhm.
Its implementation does. This is Nix var Nix profile system, and what it does is calls Nix and with profile list generations. So that's like the it's Nix and sudo Nix and profile system, or is it the entire path? Yeah, Nix var Nix. Sorry, profile Nix var Nix profile system list generations.
Okay.
Let me. I don't know. Like Nix had a few huge ahas.
Okay.
And one of them was there was something that was like a base problem before Nix solved it called the multi-file update problem.
Mhm.
You wanted to install. Let me know if this is getting too pedantic.
No,
I think
this is great.
Go into it.
Yeah. So they wanted to. You'll see. I'll tie it into this, and then you'll be like, "Oh, okay,
Okay.
that makes sense." So there was this problem called the multi-file update problem. What do I mean by like that? You want to do apt-get yum whatever install. You're downloading more than one file. If you're installing them all onto your machine at one time, you have this problem. Like imagine if the power cord gets unplugged.
Mhm.
You're left with like an inconsistent state, right? You've updated one file and not the other. RPM, apt-get, they ended up they sort of solved this by like trying to track and then they roll back and they have all this like state tracking and it's incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
Pause for 1 second.
Nix's beauty.
1 second. Do we still need the visual here? Or can we close the window capture? Sweet. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so Nix's beauty was by solving this with, again, base primitives. So Nix solves the multi-update file problem. And how it does that is the realization through the use of symlinks. So I'm going to talk about it, and we could demo it if it's not clear with talking about it. But the premise is simple. You want to install 3 files, make a temporary directory,
Mhm.
or in this case, in the store, it's not really temporary. Shove them all there. And then once you're guaranteed everything got downloaded, cut over a symlink
Mhm.
as your final step. That symlink cutover is atomic. Like it either worked or it didn't. It's your last step, and then you could report year 6. And because it's atomic and you're getting all the files, all or nothing, you're never in an inconsistent state.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's that concept, like that's what a generation is. Every system is just like when he did that rebuild thing, they made a new folder, put everything in there. Oh, you could have pulled the power plug. Doesn't matter. Gets tossed away. We didn't change anything.
Mhm.
Okay, this time we didn't pull the power. Puts everything in this folder, and then it says, I finished. And then it cuts over the symlink
Mhm.
to this new thing. And that symlink is like your bin. It's the root of, you can think of it as the root of your file system, the bin, the everything. So suddenly all your bin paths, like now find lolcat because it's pointing at this brand new root.
Mhm.
So I just find like generation, and then so generations are just like all these previous folders that you've just symlinked away from.
Mhm.
And that's why Nix, you could, like it's kind of unnecessary now with Git because you can kind of just like keep rolling forward by rolling back. You can just check out an old commit and rebuild it.
Mhm.
But Nix lets you say like, pick any of these old ones and point your symlink back to it.
Mhm.
And just that old machine. So that's like, I keep thinking like Nix took all these like really basic. That was what I thought was the beauty. He saw the landscape, Yoko, and he said, this is what I have available. Like he wants to radically redesign software, but they said like, given what's available, what can we use?
Mhm.
So there's a lot of pragmatism in it. And it's like I got symlinks, I got this other stuff. He's got a couple other cool things maybe a little too nerdy that they do, but yeah, such a simple thing, and then like that's what bleeds out of it.
Mhm.